Okay, so I think a good way to kick off would be to like say what our experience is with Overwatch One, and like kind of like how we were with that game, how much time we spent on it, etc. Ollie, why don't you kick us off? And what was your
Okay.
kind of experience with that game?
So I started Overwatch in about a year into its lifespan. Right around when Ana was released, I believe is when I started. I was gifted the game because my initial impressions of like footage and whatnot were this is first person League of Legends, and I'm not sure how I feel about that. And then got it for me. I started playing it, and I started falling in love with it because I've always been an FPS player ever since I was a little kid. My very first, like one of my very first video games was Metroid Prime. That was like a revolutionary Nintendo first person shooter. And, from there, from Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2 and all of that, because, in high school, if you weren't playing Call of Duty, then you weren't a gamer, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That eventually transitioned over to Overwatch and Titanfall to some extent, because I was a huge Titanfall player. And so I started no-lifing Overwatch right around when the OWL started.
Mm-hmm.
Because I as far as esports go, I believe that is my calling. I want to do something in that industry. So Overwatch League was my first, gateway into actually getting into it and figuring stuff out with it. And, to this day, I want to be a player for like any kind of team, for any kind of game, whatever. So when it came to Overwatch League, my goal was I'm going to get really good at Overwatch. I'm going to join a contenders team, and I'm going to work my way into the OWL.
Wow.
It never happened. I was on a contenders team, but I never got to the OWL. But
Overwatch 2 could be your second chance.
Oh shit! Yeah, I mean, with my Doomfist, hell yeah. But that's like I noticed like a lot of streamers and a lot of players had their gimmick characters, not necessarily gimmick characters, but the one that they were just really really good at and the one that they were known for. And so when he was released, for me that was Doomfist. I know a lot of people are probably cringing hearing that right now. I was a Doomfist one trick for 4 seasons straight, even when he was horrible. I've only played Doomfist. I made sure to buy the best SSD and RAM possible so I could load in the game first to install Doomfist. I got good with him until he got so horrible, especially on Brigitta's release. Doomfist just completely fell off. I considered Doomfist a counter to Brigitta, so I worked my strategy around her. But eventually got to the point where, Goats meta became a thing, and especially in Diamond and Masters, people only playing Goats or some variation of Goats. So I ended up picking up Zarya, and Zarya for then became my signature hero until I retired from Overwatch 1 in mid 2020. Which was around the time the Activision Blizzard controversy started happening.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't really into supporting the company during all that. So I was thinking, I'm already not having fun with Overwatch.
Yeah.
Activision Blizzard's scummy company at the moment. They still kind of are, but they're getting better at least.
We'll do a thing about that at the end of the episode, because I definitely don't want to talk about it. But,
of course. But like I'm like the acquisition of ActiBliz from Microsoft, I'm hoping is going to.
Yeah, I would like for it to be good, and like also, I don't know. Yeah, we'll get to it, but yeah,
it's hard to imagine Overwatch not being the way that it was like when it first dropped, I guess.
Yeah. But like role queue and everything, while it solved the goats problem for a bit, for someone like me, like it wasn't hard for someone like me to find games, considering I was a tank player. So I always, I was still saying like, Zarya is kind of my hero now. I'm not going to give up on her. So I would play mainly Zarya and Sigma in competitive, and I peaked like 3,200 are there, which I
think that's higher than I got, so no worries.
For unfortunately for me, that wasn't enough. That's not enough for a lot of people to consider you even a contender.
Right.
Well, I flew to Toronto and tried to try out for the Defiant, and just nothing. Nah, it did not work out. But that's when, yeah, like I said, in mid 2020 is when I retired from that game, and that it wasn't even mid 2020. It was early 2019 when Apex dropped. I full jump shipped when Apex dropped and grinded that for every single day.
Jeez.
And for that was until Warzone dropped, because Apex was suffering problems deep into season 6. But that's not what we're talking about right now, is Overwatch.
Okay.
But my experience with Overwatch 2, I don't know how I feel about it yet. I haven't played enough yet. I don't think there's enough done yet. I mean, the reworks for the 4 heroes that got complete reworks are fun, especially, you know, me being a tank player and my old main becoming a tank. That makes me want to play him again, but I don't think he's good enough yet.
Yeah.
They overtuned Alyssa way too much. You're giggling for that right now, but oh my god,
because I love what they did.
I played for like 8 hours straight, and I'm so sick of Alyssa already.
Yeah, no,
she's gonna get nerfed. I like the rework ideas, but
her ideas were great, but I think they gave her too much. Like
they just need to slow her down a little bit. I think she's a bit too fast.
The movement speed for javelin spin, the damage reduction on fortify,
and then like the length of fortify. Okay, anyway, we'll get into this later. So Alyssa, what's your experience with Overwatch?
I think the very first episode that I did of GameBusters was the Overwatch episode, right?
I think that's correct, yeah.
That was the first time that I ever came on, so we're redoing the Overwatch episode just to include Overwatch 2.
This is sort of a sequel of that episode, but also it's just like a beta version of that episode.
Yeah. Finally.
So we're the Overwatch 2 beta episode, but the episode is the beta.
Betas only. Alphas, there's the door.
Sorry, I'm a Sigma. I gotta leave.
Okay, but I took one of those tests and it said that I was a Sigma too.
I did not take any of those tests. I will check later.
I mean, I think I talked about my my introduction to Overwatch in the first episode that we did. Like, just like a very quick summary of my introduction to Overwatch was I joined, like, I think at the exact time that Alyssa dropped. That was the first time that I played Overwatch, and I played exclusively on Xbox for 3 years. And then I got my PC like 1.5 or 2 years ago, and even once I got a PC, Overwatch was kind of dead, so I just didn't really play that much on PC. Reason I started playing Overwatch was the first video game that I ever no-lifed. Like, I've never played any video game the way that I've played Overwatch. And it was mainly just because I thought there was really good female representation in the game, and it was just like seeing like myself in like characters that I could play was just very exciting for me. And it wasn't like, I hate hyper realistic games, like I guess like COD, and like games that like are trying to appear like very like real and militant, and I didn't like that very much. Like with Overwatch, there's like a fantasy aspect to it that I really enjoyed. But yeah, mainly it was like seeing like female representation, like just like I guess getting into a game space and like feeling somewhat welcome. I didn't deal with that much toxicity when I played Overwatch initially. Like, that was the biggest thing for me, is I didn't, like, deal with too many toxic assholes. And when you did, you just muted them. So it was, like, never a big issue for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I really liked Overwatch as it was when I first started, but my hope is that Overwatch 2 can have even a fraction of the...
Yeah.
Will give me even a fraction of the happiness that I got playing Overwatch 1.
Just a fraction of happiness. Just, like, dregs.
Just a smidget, please.
Just a drop.
Please, sir. Yeah, so I got this game. This game also marks the end of an era and the beginning of an era for me, because I am very nostalgic about how I got this game in my hands. Because like I'm like a fucking whatever game journalist now, and it's like all I do all day is like fucking read about video game news, right? Mm-hmm. But I didn't used to be like that. I used to be a good person, and back in like 2016 when this game came out, I didn't know about it. I'd never heard about Overwatch and so like about 2 weeks after it came out, I think it was, this is when I was working in Kentucky, which sucks. Don't ever go to Kentucky.
I live in Kentucky. Trust me, I know.
Where do you live?
Lexington.
Okay, that's good. I lived in Paducah for a year.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to hear that.
You know. Yeah, so anyway, yeah, so I was like on the way home from work, and I stopped at GameStop because I had finished my first. I had been playing Fallout 4 for the last like 500 hours or so, and I finally was like, I should try a second video game. I think they make other ones too. And I stopped at GameStop, and I was just like, "What's good, my man?" And the guy was like, "Oh, there's this new game called Overwatch that people like. It's like really big. It's from this really celebrated company. It's the people who did World of Warcraft, and like we actually have a used copy here, like somebody turned in for PS4." And I was like, "Okay, yeah, let me go for it." And he's like, "If you have a friend, you can get it too. That would be good." And so like I called my friend in the GameStop. Shout out Rhett if you're listening. And like he was like, "Yeah, man, I'll get it too. Yeah, let's play together. It looks kind of cool." And like we sat down and started playing, and then it just took my whole life away from me forever. And
Same.
I had never played a live game before this, like ever, not even a little bit. Did you sorry, Ollie, did you notice that you have horns on one of your anime characters on the wall now behind you?
It's on the Hunter x Hunter poster. It's two of them.
Okay.
What the fuck?
That's just
I think it's
called
funny
art.
that it's recognizing their faces over your face.
I know. It's powerful.
It's because my fucking screen's so bright.
Yeah, it's because your face is whited out. That's probably why.
Yeah.
I need a channel. I need to open up camera.
I am nostalgic for the day that something as massive as Overwatch could launch, and I would not know about it. You know what I mean?
Same. Yeah. I feel that.
But
I think Overwatch is the reason why I like live games so much too, though. Like that's why I'm so attached to like so many live games right now. It's just because like I'm trying to get that feeling that I got from Overwatch, like making as many friends as I did, and you know.
Yeah, and so that's the thing is what happened is by playing online every night for fucking 6 to 7 hours every fucking day, which was insane. Why did I do this? And I did this for like almost a year. Like my friend and I would get on, and like we had a group of people that we just met online on the PlayStation version, and like we just formed essentially a guild at some point, right? Of like, hey, this is our group, and whoever's on tonight, like squad up and go into ranked.
Yeah.
And like we were all on voice and everything, and that was just what I did every day because I didn't have any friends.
Felt that.
With you. Same. Every time I would come out from work, every time I'd come out from school, I'd get on. My two like good friends that I played Overwatch with, we'd hop on together. It's very nostalgic, very sad to remember.
But anyway, like I've clocked like around 1,000 hours on Overwatch now, like over time. I think I got to like I think I played it up until I want to say it was like early 2020 or something. Like I finally just kind of got tired, but I was playing like on PC for a few years too, and like I'm on PC now, obviously. But yeah, I don't know. Like I've never really felt like that, like with any other live game. Like hilariously, I think Splatoon is the only other game I've put any like amount of time into, like a live game. Maybe I just like colors. But yeah, I don't know. So like I've played like your Apex thing reminded me when Apex came out. I actually played that game for I think I clocked like 60 hours in 1 month, the first month it came out. And then I put it down and I didn't touch it again for like 2 years. And even now, like I only play it if like somebody like wants to play it. I'll re-download it and play a few matches. But anyway, like I guess that's my thing, is that like I really loved this game. It was like a huge part of my life for a very long time, and like Alyssa, I would love if Overwatch 2 like carries like even like a fraction of that like excitement with it.
Yeah, I just feel like as adults, it's going to be very hard to get that same feeling.
Yeah, I think there's a few things like I also was kind of surprised they hit like 1.4 million viewers on Overwatch 2 the other day.
Yeah,
like
everybody trying to get those beta keys.
Yeah, which still expresses interest in the game, like, you know what I mean? Like even if they're there for keys. So anyway, that's where we're at. So let's go ahead and dive in. And so I'm gonna try to like keep this sectioned off. Feel free to go on tangents if they come up, obviously, but I'll try to keep some sort of structure. So the first thing obviously people want to talk about is the hero reworks. So the main big reworks is like almost everybody got like a little bit of tweaking at least. But like, yeah, what has been on your guys' mind about the total rework characters? Because I got a lot to say about Sombra because she's like my main, so I'll talk about that late in a minute. But you kick us off.
I'll let you go first. I'll talk about what I hate after I talk about, or after you talk about what you want to talk about.
Yeah.
Doomfist. Right.
Okay, so tell me about Doomfist.
So, hopefully, for those who are listening that understood like the kits of the characters, are already understand how the game works and what the characters do and everything. Doomfist is one of the 4 heroes that were drastically changed. For one, he's a tank now. He's no longer a DPS. He was a 250 health DPS. Now he's a 450 health tank. Very happy about that.
Okay.
I have a lot to get used to with it because they combined uppercut and seismic slam into one ability. So Doomfist used to have an uppercut just on his shift, and then his E was a slam that would do damage the farther or the time he had in the air, more damage with a max of like 150 or something like that. Now they're both combined into one ability where if you're staring up, he'll go up and he'll constantly arc. So the more that you aim upward, the more he will jump up and arc. So it's still a good assassination ability on backline characters. Like I've made Zenyatta as my bitch. Because a lot of it has to do with rollouts, with the shotgun fist and everything. So it's like if you can get a couple of shots in, slam, shoot twice, and then punch. If you land it correctly, you should be able to kill a squishy hero. Now, like it used to be Doomfist, you'd be able to punch and you could instantly kill any 300 or less HP hero, no matter what. If they impacted a wall. Now it's no longer like that. Punch only does about 30 to 40 damage if it's uncharged. And for those who don't understand what I mean by that, Doomfist now gets a blocky ability, which helps with his tankiness. 90% of the damage done to Doomfist from the front while he's doing his blocky ability is negated. So you can completely, like, you can sit there and only take about 10 damage with an entire team blasting you.
Yeah. I agree with that. 'Cause, like, I don't know. I think the major problem with Doomfist as a conceit when he was like launched or whatever is like the whole point of this character is to like get into the enemy's back line, right? And like it's all about like survivability, and like his survivability was just like not very good. Like it could
get
be
kills, but you're right about the survivability aspect.
Yeah, he would get the kills, but the trade-offs generally weren't worth it, because like
exactly
you'd lose him in there pretty much,
Yeah, as someone who one-tricked the character for a couple of years, I knew what his potential was. So especially like my favorite map to run Doomfist on was Eichenwald, mainly because like on the very first point, if you're defending point A, there's the choke point, and then there's the building to the right that has the health pack and the stairs on it.
Yeah.
If you timed it correctly, you could jump on top of the car, uppercut, you cancel your punch halfway through while pressing jump, and you could jump over that building, and I would slam onto someone and completely ruin their day. You can still do that, kinda, but without Doomfist, like one tap potential,
one punch man.
Yeah, without his one tap potential now, it's harder to execute. It's still possible, but it's harder to execute.
Okay.
But it's definitely better, I think, with him as a tank now that he's sticking with a team as opposed to like being forced to be like an assassin, I guess, like you noted earlier.
Like yeah, I can jump into the back line as Doomfist, but since his cooldowns are a lot shorter, because uppercut was on a 10-second, seismic slam was on a 12-second or something like that, and punch was on a 5-second or something like that. Now it's like with the slime being one ability and down to 8 seconds, and then punch being on 3. It's easy to get back to your team. If any bugs on the new maps or anything don't prevent you from moving anywhere. The amount of times I've hit fucking light poles is insane on Toronto. You can like I've pulled off some dumb shit. I'm not even gonna lie. When I was solo queuing there was a who was it was my Mercy player. It was just me and Mercy who were left, and Mercy was about to get solo ulted by I believe it was a Junkrat, something like that. I was able to respawn, get in there real quick with the new movement tech from Doomfist, and I slammed right in front of Mercy, hit my E, and tanked all the explosion damage. And it charged up my fist, and I was able to get the one pick on their Ana.
Wow. Okay, that's pretty cool.
So yeah, if you block at least 100 damage with your block on, which is now on your E, your rocket punch is powered up to do double the damage it would, or something like that. So I don't know the exact numbers. I get
it. So like, I mean, the idea for Doomfist is the idea to still like get him that there in the middle of the enemy line or anything like that, or
well, kinda. All of his abilities are now multi-hits. So there have been times where Doomfist 1, if I were going for a support player where the tank would just run in front and tank all that damage and whatnot and save them. Now, if they run, like if the Reinhardt runs in front of their Ana, I hit both Rein and Ana. So they both take the damage. So
that's true, yeah, because he only could hit one person before, right?
Yep, yeah. Exactly. So now you can hit all of them. I mean, Reinhardt's shield will still block damage if I slam into them, but he can't block the punch. That makes with the changes to CC and everything, crowd control effects. Reinhardt, like the biggest counter tank to Reinhardt, other than another Reinhardt, is going to be Doomfist.
I do really love that there's much less CC in Overwatch now. Like you're not getting stunned nearly as much.
Oh yeah, and see that's actually something that like I've noticed, because I was looking at every one of these movesets, and like they have effectively taken out anything that slows down the game, basically. Like almost anything that like stops you from moving. Like Mei's freezing is gone, you know, in addition Orisa's halt is gone, etc. etc. Like
gone.
all crowd control effects are on ultimates now.
Yeah, which makes sense. Like you want the ultimate to make a difference, right? Like
exactly,
it feel different. And like I also like I don't know. Anyway, like so I guess I'll talk quickly about like the Sombra, because I've spent much time with her. But like I think I've spent like between like maybe 10 and 12 hours on Overwatch 2 so far, and like I would say like probably like 90% of that was on Sombra.
I don't blame you. She's fucking powerful right now.
So much fun, and like it feels so good because I've been loyal. I've been a loyal bitch ever since she came out, and it finally feels like they figured out what she's supposed to do. You know what I mean? Like, because like I think I loved the conceit of the character, like having sort of a stealth character in a high intensity first person shooter. Like it's a hard sell, but it's such a good idea, and like I think they finally figured out a way to make it work. Because like, so the main things, of course, is that like she can like stay invisible basically forever, but you can hack while invisible and you become like briefly visible. So a lot of me learning has been me figuring out like the right vantage points to hack from, basically, and taking the opportunities to like interrupt them. So that's the thing too, is that like the hacking doesn't shut somebody down completely anymore. It is for interrupting attacks, like because you only get hacked for it's only a 1 second thing that you can't use your abilities, and it's great because like, oh my god, I had one the other day. Like I've hacked so many Mercies mid-res. It feels so good every time, and like it's always like they always stand there for a second because they're like, what happened? And then I almost said the forbidden name, excuse me. When Cassidy is ulting the high noon, like it feels so good to be able to like run up behind and like in half a second you just stop the entire thing, like because the hack speed is also really fast now. It's only half a second instead of
didn't they nerf the hack speed?
Was that like today or something?
No, like the rework, like her initial hack speed was 0.5 and now it's 0.67 or something like that. I think it was to compensate for her being invisible.
Yeah, it might have been. I don't know. It feels faster. Maybe I'll have to check the numbers, but like, yeah, her hack speed's a lot faster, but like at the same time, like the hack also is down a little bit on the cooldown. Like it recharges a little bit faster. I think it's at 4 seconds now, which feels good because it's exactly enough time for me to run between every health pack on the map. Which it's great. Like it feels so fucking just funny. Like, so the big thing about Sombra is that like using her in a good way is contingent upon your other damage character like putting out enough damage.
True.
Because like if you're using her, you are really having to like compensate or either having like a high damage tank, whatever. But like you have to make up the difference for that damage somehow. And she does great damage. Like I like her gun, feels a little bit better.
I don't like the sound of her gun. Good God, I hate the sound of her gun.
No,
now.
I love it.
It's so freaking loud.
It's so loud.
So
it feels
loud.
like it sounds like an actual SMG.
I'm not playing my games for realism. I just
yeah, I'm not here for.
I imagine there's going to be some volume adjustments on some stuff because like I think we talked about also like a lot of the audio cues are like not loud enough. Like which I've also I agree with.
It's hard to
I
understand when you're taking damage a lot of the time.
Yeah. Another huge thing on Sombra is like if you're fighting against her, like it doesn't cue you well enough that you've been hacked. You know what I mean? Like it takes like half a second to be like, okay, I think I've been hacked. Like I wouldn't even mind if they put like a big purple skull on your screen for like a second, you know, or something to like let you know you're being hacked or whatever. But the thing with the wall hacks has been so useful though. That's a thing I don't think people are talking about enough because if you hack somebody now for 8 seconds, everyone on your team can see them through walls, which is like a huge deal. So like it's almost a thing where like I'm starting to think about like I'm marking people for the rest of the team basically. It's like okay, like I'm like this person's causing a problem right now. I hack them and people kind of know to go after that person, which is kind of fun. Like I'm really enjoying it. So anyway, I've always loved playing her, but like. I will say that playing this specific character, Sombra, like it feels better than the first game for sure.
Can I ask you something? He says you're the Sombra player, or this has been bothering me since the beta dropped, and I can't find a clear answer. So when Sombra hacks someone now in Overwatch 2, I know that she does 40% extra damage to them when they're hacked. Yes. Does the entire team do that, or is that just Sombra?
Just her.
Okay, I could not find a clear answer for that anywhere. I don't know why no one was talking about it.
Yeah, no, yeah, she does an extra 40% damage for that 8 second window, and it's weird because the hack kind of has two effects. Like the first effect is stopping you from using your abilities and canceling things in progress, but that only lasts 1 second. But also for 8 seconds, you are marked for wall hacks, and Sombra does 40% more damage to them. So, yeah. Which has been like it's been good. I'm starting to get into it, and I'm having a lot of fun. But again, like there have been a few matches where like I'm looking and I'm seeing my other damage isn't putting out enough damage, and I've got to switch to somebody else because it's just like not working, you know.
Yeah, it all just comes down to team comp. So like, you obviously can't play the same character every game.
Yeah,
regardless of whatever role you decided to play.
I can play Doomfist as much as I want. Take that back.
So who's been playing Orisa? Have you been playing Orisa, Alyssa?
I played a bit of her when I was playing tank.
Okay,
but...
I've only played her one time and I got scared. So can you talk about it?
Okay, so with Alyssa, basically, like they've taken away her shield, they've taken away her pull ability, and they've basically just changed like everything about her except for her fortify. Her fortify is there; it's still like more powerful than it was, though. I'm pretty sure the reduction on damage is a lot higher than it was with her fortify.
Did you see that thing? Like, I think the only reason they gave her the javelin is because there's like a spray of her with a javelin from the Olympic event.
Yeah, but it's probably also because she's an African character and they wanted to like have something that like I guess was close to that. It was just very, I don't know. They
gave her Nigerian voice lines. It's great.
I do like the voice lines they gave her. The voice lines were.
Is Doomfist also Nigerian, or is he like?
He's from the same country. It's like a fantasy country that they made up for Overwatch.
They're from Wakanda. Yeah.
But I mean, like ultimately, I kind of like I really like the change of the shield to
the shield
like,
being gone weapon. Is good for everybody. Yeah. Like 100%.
Because I mean, like I like that her spear pushes people back when she shoots them with it. I like that her spin ability like negates damage and like or reflects damage, whatever it does. I just hate how fast it makes her. Like that's something they definitely need to tune down. Is like whenever she's spinning her spear, it makes her very fast. Her ult is interesting. I don't know that I like it like too much, but with her ult now, like basically she like rears up on her hind legs and it pulls people in as she's like twirling her spear. And then you can charge that up, and then once you let it go, it like deals damage to everybody that's around you still.
Yeah, it's
they
like
can
an
walk out of
AoE
it.
Earth shake sort of thing.
Kinda. They can like walk out of it if they want to, but or if they can like manage to get out before you like I guess like bring the spear down. But it's interesting.
I like that. Okay, so like as opposed to the halt thing, which like grabs you and pulls you in, like I like both her thing and then Sojourn's like her vortex, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Because like both of those things are like things that are pulling you in, but you can escape from. Like they're not they're not like just stunning you and stopping you. You know what I mean? Like I think it's a great benefit to the game because it keeps things moving. But like, yeah, I don't know. I
Sojourn's
think
Sojourn's electrical ability sounds way too much like Winston's like shock. And it confuses me every time I'm hit by it because I like think there's a Winston behind me or something.
Monkey.
Peanut butter. Yeah, I think the I don't know, like I've seen Orisa against me on almost every match. And maybe because people just want to play her, maybe because she's like way too powerful. Who knows? But like I like the javelin idea too, and like I don't know. I think her ult probably needs to be changed a little bit, and I think her fortify needs to either have the duration or the damage reduction reduced.
Yeah,
like one of those two things
the
needs
time.
to kind of give. Like
the time goes down, I feel like it'd be a lot.
How long is she? Is it like a 10-second thing now? Her fortify? It's like really long.
It's pretty long.
It's 10 seconds.
Jesus. Yeah, like I don't know. So I think some more works are needed, but like I like her function as a character a lot more, and I'm just glad to see one of the shields gone is all I can say.
Same. I'm just so glad shield meta is just destroyed by this.
Yeah.
Like one going down to one tank like destroys shield meta regardless, but like taking away her shield makes her so much more of a fun face tank.
It also
She's
makes
so fun to play.
And as a former like Reinhardt main, I still play Rein a lot. Like
Same.
I like the shield being kind of more of his like because it's like a character identity thing for him. You know what I mean? Like that's his thing. And I'm kind of surprised that they didn't come up with something different for Sigma. Honestly, like that he still has like the projecting shield. But it's different enough, you know.
Yeah. I guess so I liked the changes that they made to the healers overall.
They just like buffed the healing a little bit, right? Isn't that all they did?
Depends, because okay, I'm an Ana main, and they just nerfed Ana into the ground basically. Like, I mean, so the fact that you've taken away one tank, I kind of like feel negates for one thing from her. I guess like it prevents her from gaining ult charge as quickly as she did, and like it's like those are big targets for her to be shooting at, and her skill is entirely based on her being able to like aim, right? So
yeah,
for one thing, but then also they slowed down the time. They slowed down her shot, so her shots are slots. Oh my god, her shots are slower. Yeah, her shots are slower, and the time it takes to get into her scope is longer. So you can't quick scope as much anymore. And I mean, I can still do it. It's just not as easy.
Yeah,
and it's very frustrating, like because she's like one of the more like skill based healers, I guess. That it I don't know. It hurts to see that happen to her.
I think that they should probably change. I don't know, like I feel like Ana's been getting the shaft for a long time.
Yeah.
I will say that Ana was the highest pick support for the last like year. She in Diamond and Masters gameplay, you didn't see a game without Ana. Nano Boost was extremely strong. Nade is the best ability in the game, bar none.
Yeah,
it really is. It genuinely is.
So I do think Ana needed a bit of a pushback, but it's more so I didn't think she needed the pushback as much as the other supports needed the push forward.
That's true. I think Moira needs to be pushed the fuck back. I am so tired of seeing Moiras in my games.
No, I love when she zips around and is like
Moira got hard buffed. So
ridiculous. She did not need it.
She does more damage, right?
No, not even that.
She gets more healing back from the damage.
She gets more healing back from the damage, and its passive regen was buffed. So other than that, all the supports in general got their support passive buff. Which was Mercy's passive, but now they buffed Mercy's passive and gave it to everyone.
Yeah,
all the supports. I mean,
passive regen.
But basically all of them also got nerfed because tank with you, healing your tank was how you got ult charge.
Yeah.
Now that you only have one tank, you don't get as much ult charge. But even worse than that, tanks in general generate less ult charge for both their team and the enemy players. That's a tank passive that was introduced. I completely forgot to talk about that. Well, that's kind of a good thing considering how much people would use Roadhog and Reinhardt as ult batteries.
Right.
So that gives them more. That gives like people like who want to play Roadhog or like Doomfist who don't have a way of actually blocking damage that much, more incentive to play them. That like Roadhog Orisa was a huge comp because Roadhog could just sit behind a shield, throw his hook, and get one taps constantly. Now, I mean, he could still do that now, but he doesn't have to worry about the enemy Echo being able to duplicate him immediately after him basically face checking in the choke point. So yeah, all tank heroes generate half the ult charge that they used to for other players.
It definitely feels like across the board they want there to be less ults happening, which I'm all for.
Definitely, every single ultimate in the game got a net nerf to their charge time.
Yeah,
some a lot more than others. Like May's got 20% reduction to ult charge.
Wow.
Thank Christ. Yes, I've only seen one May freeze per round.
Yeah.
She rarely gets it. Even if she's doing amazing, I only see maybe one, maybe two if they're really, really good. And I hate May. I've always hated May since launch. May, like everyone, like
I despise her.
I knew that she was horrible at higher ranks because you could easily focus her. Higher ranks always have the aimers. So if your DPS is playing Widow, May's immediately gone. But there was a time where May meta was a thing in role queue, and that's what that low key is what made me retire is when she became meta because I didn't want a gimmick hero to like be the meta, and May Torbjorn was huge in like mid 2020 or mid 2019.
The cancer meta.
I hated that's when the Torb rework came out and they uber buffed him and then they uber buffed May. That is all I saw in my fucking Diamond games. I hate people so much, but that's not what I'm talking about. That's not what we're talking about. There's actually one hero we forgot to mention for the rework, and that's Bastion.
I was about to say, like, so I like the Bastion rework a lot. I think it makes him like still very useful. So the thing was like at low levels, especially Bastion was like a fucking death sentence if he was on the other team. Yeah. If people like on your team couldn't fucking aim, right? Like if your heroes, like if your DPS couldn't hit him from across the map. But like I think this makes Bastion a little more like viable to fight against while also not like making him useless. Like because he you know the mobile turret thing like. It works. Like I've seen. I really
Bastion, like the changes.
He feels like pretty balanced, to be honest. Like
I've had no one complain about it. I think he's great now.
It prevents people now again from I guess going back into bunker comps too. I'm so incredibly happy that this is like preventing us from having bunker comps.
I'll still do it.
No,
I play Junkertown, and I will if I'm playing Bastion, I will go into turret mode, get on the payload. Just be like, all right, cool. And then you can use the grenade to rocket jump still, and I think that's hilarious.
I think that is great like that. You can do that.
That's also hurt because you can't double shield anymore anyway. So like,
yeah, exactly.
That's nice too. Yeah, I mean like that was good. And then what do we think about Sojourn, who's the new character we're saying?
I love her so much.
Fixed eyes save lives.
Her playstyle it reminds me of Apex, which I think is what I like about it so much because her slide is just so much fun. Slide is so much
fun to do. I agree.
I do think she needs a bit of a buff, honestly. I don't think she's gonna be a DPS meta when the game fully releases if they do buff her. But I do need to see who the other 5 heroes are supposed to have on launch are supposed to be. I'm hoping that we get like 1 new tank and 2 supports and 3 DPS for the launch.
I feel like they might give us 2 supports, couple DPS, 1 tank.
Yeah. We need at least 2 more supports because like they're really like
lacking.
Yeah. I don't know. Like
I do think we should have had at least 2 for the beta, but because you had Sojourn for the pro players had Sojourn for the alpha. So I mean, it's like, come on, you could have at least given us a little something.
There's gonna be new waves.
Yeah, they're doing a second beta in June. I mean, they're doing an open beta that's going to be on consoles too. So like, hopefully we see another character in there or
And
something.
my hope is eventually they give us the PvE because I want to see some of the PvE.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to get a beta of that though. That's probably just going to come out probably next year, honestly.
But I mean, they did that one PvE mission like 2 years ago, and they released it to
right?
people. It was an Owl,
Archives
right? They got to play it. Yeah.
No.
It was an Archives.
No, it was the chapter 1 of the.
Oh, really?
Like, of the
I didn't know
campaign,
that.
Yeah. First mission, like they were in like Rio de Janeiro or something, fighting
in Rio.
Onyx.
Mm-hmm. You can watch the gameplay of the whole first mission.
I have to look it up.
I just want to play it so bad. It came out 2 fucking years ago.
Everyone I talked to like about this who like played Overwatch a little bit back in the day, like all they care about is the campaign. Like most people are just like they don't even care about the PvP anymore.
I'm a lore whore. Like it's all I want is the PvE
That's
stuff.
true.
Me too.
I'm really excited for it, but I also think that the reason that like because like originally they pushed Overwatch 2 to 2023 was like the idea, and then like once they kind of came to the conclusion like, okay, like we're gonna split like the PvP and PvE into 2 different things, like it looks like the PvP part is gonna launch like this fall, and like I don't think we're gonna see the campaign stuff until next year, unfortunately.
Yeah, probably not.
Like it kind of makes sense though in a way, like I get why they're doing that, but I don't know. How do you guys feel about the battle pass stuff? Because I kind of like it after thinking about it for a while. I think it'll be better.
I just like battle pass content in most games.
I didn't know they were doing it.
Yeah, they've removed loot boxes, so no more
thank
of those.
God. Thank
Goodbye.
fucking God.
So like yeah, it's apparently like people have already done data mining on the beta, so you can look it up and see what it is. But basically the idea is that it's like similar to the Valorant battle pass, where you would what are you doing with your eyebrows? I don't like that. It's scary. But yeah, it's similar to the Valorant one where you basically pick a character and then like complete whatever missions and stuff and dailies,
that's
etc.,
cool.
etc. And then you get skins and cosmetics for that character, and then you can switch it around. Like so you can really focus on the heroes that you actually use getting stuff for.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you can like buy gold coins from the shop with like real money if you want, and just buy the skins.
Oh, thank God they're like just eliminating the loot box thing, because it's just so tired of getting random shit that I don't want.
Yeah, I really hate the conceit of loot boxes at this point, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, I really just am not interested in it. But like that, and then like so, I think one other thing to talk about is like, how do you guys feel like the 5v5 has like changed the game? Because like we talked a little bit about it, but like it
hasn't.
It feels a little bit like I don't know, like the game feels like a lot faster in a way because like there's less people to kill on the other team in one way. So I feel like there's a lot more team fights, and I feel like, oh my god, Fimst. I think the team comps are like the team comp change like leads to there being like a lot more team fights and a lot more like team wipes. Like I've seen way more team wipes than I ever did in the first game. Like, and maybe I'm just like I don't know, like, which is not like, I'm not saying is bad or anything. Like I think it kind of makes more sense because the respawn times are a little bit faster and all the characters are moving a little bit faster to get back to the fight.
I do like a more like aggressive, like fast-paced gameplay, because it just came down like taking away one tank eliminated so many terrible metas that I think it'll make things a lot more fun to watch. It'll
make things fun to watch too. That's a big thing. Is like I think a lot of people are going to tune into the Overwatch League this year because like it's way easier to it makes honestly a huge difference to keep track of just less characters and what they're doing on the field.
Hashtag rise together. Right. Toronto Defiant. Sorry.
Oh, okay. I didn't know their thing.
Yeah. I want them to fucking rebrand Atlanta's team. I want them to have peach colors.
Atlanta,
I'm so mad.
Atlanta Reign, right?
Yeah, Atlanta Reign.
Atlanta Reign's what are they called?
Their alternate jerseys.
The alternate jerseys were peach colored.
I know. I want that to be their actual colors. Yeah, God damn it.
I have the poster for the Overwatch League finals from a few years ago that we went to. Of the Titan, Vancouver Titans and San Francisco Shock. That was fun. The San Francisco Shock like fucking destroyed them. It was just like not even a little bit of a match.
Shock won 2 years in a row, didn't they?
I think they did, yeah.
Yeah.
Good share. Yeah.
I used to be a huge Glad simp. And
I see. Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. Like, I think it's for the better, and I think it's more manageable.
Also, matchmaking is going to be better. I think it's going to make things a lot quicker.
Right now the queue times are like a fucking nightmare because like there's no one wanting to play healer, and it's like
to be fair,
I play a lot of healer, but like I
Same.
don't want to play it right now because none of the heroes really have been changed.
They didn't
I
change
can't play
enough.
support. I can't play support. I hate playing support. Every time I solo queue when I play support,
You're the problem.
I can't do it. Like I do it, and I try to do it. I can't help that none of the fucking tank players I get solo queued with know what they're doing. I can't help it. Okay, there's only so much I can do. Like I'll even get into voice comms. I will get into voice comms and tell my tank, here's what you need to do so I can better help you. And they won't fucking do it. They will fucking leave the voice. I literally said, hey, Ryan, do you mind face taking this real quick and then pulling back? And then I can give you some more heals. I'm playing Ana.
Play with
And
friends.
then he charged in and died.
And then he charged in and died.
Yes.
And not just that, he left the voice channel light afterward and called me a slur. So I'm fucking going... You don't understand how much I hate playing support. I will play support.
You're saying that to two people who play support constantly.
I know.
I
will play support if my friends are playing with me. I will not play support if I'm solo queuing.
That's fair.
I've been playing a little bit of Lucio because like I play a lot of Lucio too. Like Lucio and Mercy are my two main supports that I play, but like I think Lucio feels better in this game. I don't know exactly. I don't think they've changed much about him, but I think the rest of the meta of the game changing has made Lucio feel better. Like I don't know. I feel like he's gotten a weird like he's gotten a buff in that like the game works a different way now. If that makes sense.
It's not that I hate Lucio. It's that I hate motherfuckers who play him like Red Shell and think that they're Red Shell. I hate people in pubs who play Lucio like they only go for Reddit clips. They're not playing the game to actually help their fucking team. You don't understand how many times I'll have this dude in one of my solo queue games kept typing in match chat saying, but all he did was plug his Twitch the whole fucking time. Every time he died, he goes, "Wow, I can't believe you just killed the dude with the second highest Lucio clip on Twitch." I'm like, dude, I don't fucking care. Shut up. Play the game.
I really love the Lucios that only speed boost, no heals, only speed boost.
Yes. Okay. So I like that's what I was gonna say. Is like for any aspiring Lucio players out there, really you should like. I mean, okay, circumstances change depending on the match, obviously, but like. You really should be spending a lot more time on speed than healing. And like, I don't think people really get that. Cause like your healing burst, like when you switch to healing and then do the pump it up, like it's way better to rely on that and then keep your passives for speed and everything while your team is like coordinating, assuming your other healer's actually healing, whatever. But a lot of this is contingent on the other healer doing anything. Sorry, can I say quickly? And just, I have an anger thing, which is that I was playing a match. I played a match like yesterday, I think, and my two healers together had a combined at the end of the match, which we absolutely lost, had a combined healing of less than 2,000.
That's fucking ridiculous.
It was amazing.
There's no way that should be happening.
It was incredible work. Incredible.
What healers were they?
It was Ana and Mercy.
Those are two pretty high like healing characters too.
How did you
guys both? Yeah, they're both main healers. What the fuck? How
did you do that? Actually, anyway, whatever. But I'm going to continue my policy of not getting into comp unless I have a full stack in this game.
Same. It's just always going to be that way in any team game.
Yeah. Okay, so I want to talk about the new maps a little bit too, and also I guess with that the new mode, push mode. I love push mode. I think it's fucking great. Pushbot is awesome. I love his work. I love what he's doing out there.
We named the bot.
Yeah, you named him Jeremy. Is that right?
No, it's Cooper.
Who was Jeremy?
Jeremy was what Zach was calling it. Zach was calling it Jeremy, but we call it Cooper because one of our good friends
looks like he's a pushing robot.
A robot maybe. Sorry, not robot.
His username is robot maybe, so we named the robot Cooper.
Cooper.
I like the mode a lot. It reminds me of the tower control mode in Splatoon, actually, which is probably my favorite mode in that game. But I like I think Toronto is one of my favorite maps.
I love it so far.
It's so beautiful.
It's
As
such a
I'm a
good
Canadian. It's so beautiful. It's fucking great.
How'd you end up in Lexington?
Don't fucking. I'm half American. I'm half American, and I moved here with my mother. But yeah, I know it sucks. I do not claim my American heritage. I mean, originally I'm from Quebec, but still, fucking Toronto is such a beautiful map. It captures Canadian beautifully very well. Like Blizzard, I've always made the best fucking maps visually, even if they're not like the best. Like
this Toronto feels like
Paris.
Toronto feels like the perfect, like they finally got like a visually beautiful and like well constructed map at the same time.
It's the best map in the game.
And for a push mode like map, I think it definitely works well as a push mode because you have avenues to get across the map when you need to, and I think would have been the most frustrating thing to me is having to zoom through the entire road.
Yeah. But I'm looking forward to more of those maps. And then what were the other new ones? Because there's 4 new ones.
Midtown, New York City. I mean, whatever. And then there was a hybrid map.
Monaco.
Was Monaco the hybrid map? I thought it was the Italy one.
Oh no, Monaco is payload pushing map.
Is that the one where you go like up the slope there and then you go into the big hotel?
You push like a race car like through
Monte Carlo.
Monte Carlo. Okay,
Monte
gotcha.
Carlo. I guess not Monaco. Well, no, Monte
Carlo is in Monaco. Yeah,
I'm stupid.
So you're right.
It's New York City, Toronto, Rome, Rio, Gothenburg, Monte Carlo, and India are the ones that are going to be on.
They haven't dropped 3 of those. They haven't dropped India.
They're doing one for the whole country.
Yeah. Rio. They haven't dropped Rio either.
Is that going to be a? Is that going to be like a? I don't know what the India one is going to be. Is that like a?
No idea.
Is it like Symmetra's home? What's the company that Symmetra
Fishcar Industry?
Fishcar.
Okay, New York City and Rio are going to be hybrid, so they'll focus on assault for point 1, then payload in point 2. Toronto and Rome are push. And it says nothing for Monte Carlo. So I think Monte Carlo was the other push one.
Rome is actually a pretty good map too, though. Honestly, I like it a lot. Like the whole like going under the bridge thing. Actually, like I don't know, it allows for a lot of different like ways to come at the fight and like come at with some strategy and stuff. But I like what they did with it. Yeah, I like the push mode a lot. And which is it 2 CP that's not leaving like quick play comp rotation?
2 CP is no longer in the game.
I thought they were making it
was
an
no
arcade
longer
mode.
in comp. Yeah.
I have not played a single 2 CP map.
Well, that's because there's no arcade mode. Because it's not going to be in quick play or comp. It's just going to be an arcade mode that comes in.
That would make sense. Because I mean, like I enjoyed it occasionally. It was
I agree. But I get why they took it out of comp. But like,
Same.
it's not like a horrible mode completely. But
I mean, even if I'm playing arcade, if I see Horizon or Paris, I'm going to cry.
Horizon 2.0 was fine. It wasn't great, but it was fine. Like after they did the rework, did they ever do anything to Paris?
No, they never changed Paris at all.
That was like one of the last maps they did before they just forgot the game existed, I guess. So
it was the last map, I think.
Was it?
Other than deathmatch maps that no one cared about.
Man,
there's still deathmatch maps I haven't played.
I just like, whose idea was that? Like this giant open plaza with like big buildings all around it. Anyway, whatever.
Who knows?
I think I want more stuff like Junkertown. I think Junkertown has like perfect verticality to it. Like I think I would like more stuff kind of like that.
Agreed.
My favorite map's Kings Row.
Kings Row is really, really good too, though. Like I agree. It kind of has the same vibe to it, though, of like it has a little bit of verticality. I've always thought about like what would like an actually vertical map look like if you were like trying to push a payload up 90 degrees kind of a thing. And I was thinking about like when they said the India thing, I was like, what if they used the big fucking like a Vishkar tower thing and it was like trying to get this payload vertically up the map?
That'd be so how do we do that?
I want it. I want them to do something. Anyway, so yeah, I guess if we want to like what other thoughts are is anyone having about like about the game so far? Like, do you think like, okay, so here's probably a good one that people have kind of been back and forth on. Do you feel it's like different enough that like it's Overwatch 2?
Not yet.
I think like I mean like I get people saying like it's Overwatch 1.5. Like I get the feeling of that.
The game is never going to feel completely brand new until there's a lot of new meta changes and everything. Because if I'm completely honest, and I've complained about this to Alyssa, I believe the meta DPS characters are the ones that weren't touched at all. Hanzo, Genji, and Soldier 76 were the 3 DPS that were not touched and given absolutely no changes whatsoever, and they're the best ones in the game.
You're not wrong, because Soldier has just like dominated almost every single game that I've been in, and it's very frustrating because I don't understand like how like he's gotten better without any changes.
Shield changes. That's the big one.
It's changed a lot of the game. The shields being gone, like, and I think for the better, but like at the same time, like. I haven't seen a lot of Genjis bouncing around, to be honest. I've seen Hanzo and Soldier out there kicking my butt a lot though. Especially with I don't know where these and I know there's no MMR right now, which is like a big thing. So like, you know, I'm like getting sniped halfway across the map as Pharah headshotted by a Hanzo who's like in their spawn point, you know what I mean?
Pharah feels really strong right now too, though. Pharah feels, I feel like, especially strong as long as you don't have somebody with really good aim on the enemy team.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like, but then if you do have some fucking Hanzo or like God forbid Cassidy, then like you're fucking Dunzo and just switch to Junkrat, I guess. Like that's I don't know what happened or if it's just like raw damage output, but like almost every match where I'm like playing Sombra and I'm like we're not getting enough damage and we're losing, I just end up switching to Junkrat and we win. Like
I think it's just, that's a whole other thing with the shields and everything too. Like it's just the lack of a second tank makes a lot of the DPS who were mediocre shine now, like Soldier, Hanzo, Junkrat. There's a lot more that they can do with the lack of a second tank. Zarya's mini rework, like she pairs really well with Hanzo right now. Like I've played Zarya solo queue, and like I used to be a Zarya main, so like I have to get used to the new stuff. But like with Hanzo, I can generate my Graviton 3 times in a push game. And that like 3 ult is a lot for a Zarya in general, much less with the reduced ult times or ult charge times.
Right. Zarya feels fairly weak to me right now, and I think it's just because there's not another tank like with her, because she like her kit relied on being with another tank basically.
I think she needs a health buff. I think that would help her a lot.
I think her shields need to just last longer. I don't know, like
why the fuck does Roadhog have 700 health but Zarya only has 450?
Yeah, so on the tanks, like okay, so the other thing, like I played a lot of Wrecking Ball also. Like I really love him, and I've played like a shit ton of him, but like
Ball is dead.
Okay, so first thing that has made me very sad is that his hook shot's on a timer now, and it fucking blows. Fuck off, Blizzard. Are you kidding?
Well, okay, so, to be fair, it prevents him from just spinning around a fucking map, or like I guess like spinning around in one spot and just like getting damage.
I know, but that was the fun. That was the fun part.
No, it was so annoying to deal with him.
It was fun because it was me.
I hate Ball.
But no, the other thing is that like it's really it's hard to describe my thought process on this, but like he doesn't feel very useful anymore because he doesn't have a main tank to pair with anymore.
A lot of the off
like,
tanks don't feel great anymore.
He's not like like he has 750 health, and like that's good. Like, but he also like putting him in your front line in order to absorb damage is like just inherently against what the character is supposed to do.
Yeah.
Like the character's supposed to be flying around the map at every second. Like you're not supposed to know where it's coming from. It's not supposed to be sitting in your front or back line. Like, but by taking away the other tank, like you're basically like wasting your tank space because you are just like swinging around, like knocking people around. And
they really could make him a DPS. They could make him a DPS and it would work better.
They probably could. I mean, like it's something that like they should probably consider at least doing something with him.
Downsize him.
I don't play any of Roadhog, but like I've heard nothing but complaints about him. Like if anyone wants to talk about that,
I've never.
I've heard no complaints about Roadhog. I think he's weak as a tank.
I think that's what all it is that like he's just like not. I mean, like he's the same thing as like Zarya and Ball, just like the off tanks have suffered from the meta change basically.
Yeah,
I mean, he really could be a DPS too.
Roadhog could be a DPS, but I do think he works better as a tank. The health, the take a breather health thing got massively buffed. The ult battery thing is a huge buff for him. If they put Hook on I dare say this, but if they put Hook on a shorter cooldown, he could be the best tank of the game.
I don't want to see him as the best tank in the game.
Jeez, I can't go back to that.
Yeah.
Who remembers season 1 over Roadhog?
I do. I remember World of Tanks.
I just want Reinhardt to remain the best tank, please.
Were you there for the Beyblade meta?
Yep.
I remember it was
I was the Reaper player.
Oh Jesus.
Now I just think no, I'm not going to make that joke here. Never mind. Alyssa knows that joke I make about Reaper.
Okay.
You made it while we were playing the other day.
I forgot it already. Anyway. Yeah. So, and I guess in conclusion, I think that it like so far I'm having fun. I think it looks good. I think it'll bring people back in a pretty good way. There's obviously still some work to do, but of course this is a beta, so like whatever. That's what it's for. And they're doing a second beta too, and like I don't foresee this game coming out for another like probably like 4 to 5 months, anyway.
Oh, for sure.
I hope the second beta is on the new engine.
Yeah, they said it would be, and they said it would be using the new character skins and everything. So,
oh fuck yeah,
let's go.
That's good.
I want to talk about what PvE missions you'd be looking forward to because there's just so many possibilities.
Whichever one has Soldier and Reinhardt kiss at the end.
No, I want a mission with all of the old soldiers. I want Reinhardt, I want Soldier, I want Ana, I want Reaper. I don't know if Reaper will be on the same team.
I wouldn't say Reaper. I'd put Torbjorn in.
Well, yeah, Well, we get all 5 of them. You can get all 5 of them now.
Well, it's still 4. It's 4-person co-op. Each of the missions.
Oh, you're right. So it would be all of them, and then like maybe up against Reaper or something. But yeah, I would love to see the 4 of them work together.
One thing that they need to do is to have like in these PvE missions is to have like the opposing team characters or whatever, like because like it's like mostly robots and shit, and like yeah, there's a lot of different cool robots. I'm glad they have new abilities and stuff, but like if I'm playing as like some of the old guard of Overwatch, like then maybe like there's Reaper is like an enemy in this map, and like he is like sort of like bossified in a way.
Yeah, it would be like the Blackwatch mission, like where you had like the like really super powerful characters you would go up against, the Talon members. So it'd be like that. It'd be like that. You'd have the grunts, then you'd have like the bosses. Yeah,
which I think would be really cool. I would love to have. I'm really excited for the like Talon kind of stuff though. Like Same. if you have like Doomfist, Sombra, like Reaper, whatever. And
I want to see them do something with Widow. I really want to see them do something with her story.
Yeah, Sigma.
Baptiste was part of Talon too.
Which is probably Overwatch now though. Thank fuck.
Oh yeah, is he? Who's? Do they have any healers over there still?
Moira.
Yeah.
Oh, Moira's Talon now.
Didn't she used to work for Overwatch?
She was Blackwatch.
Oh yeah. Okay.
She defected with Reaper.
Yeah. So I think they probably should add another evil healer for sure.
Maximilian.
He wouldn't be a healer. There's no way he'd be a healer.
The evil Omnic. The
red like in black Omnic guy. Ooh. He was in the Havana mission.
Yeah. Ooh, that'd be fun. People talk about the Junker Queen and stuff. I don't know if they'll do that.
She probably will be. I can see that happening. Like I can see
Mauga.
DPS,
though.
Yeah, she would be DPS.
Mauga, Junker Queen, maybe Maximilian, but I don't feel like Maximilian's a fighter. I love Maximilian. I just don't know if they'll be able to like work him in there.
I think it'd be cool if they had like a remote control hero, kind of like Bob, but Maximilian was controlling it.
So that's what the jetpack cat is. That's literally what it was. And they were too fucking cowardly to put it in.
They could put it in. I think they will this time.
Because that the whole conceit of that character was there was a little girl with the remote control flying a jetpack with an unwilling cat strapped into it.
Well, because now the canon is that Brigitte made Jetpack Cat.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. But also I think it also might be upsetting for people to see a cat explode over and over. So
we see a fucking hamster explode almost every game.
You guys have never played Postal 2 then?
Yeah.
What?
Postal 2. So you ever seen the movie Postal?
Yeah, I know about the Postal games. Like it's wacky.
Postal 2, their silencer is literally putting a cat on the end of your gun.
Yeah, it's not good.
Can we get a Catboy character?
I'm right here.
Okay, somebody asked me because they were like, "Oh, I haven't played Overwatch since it came out. Have they added a femboy character yet?" And I'm like, "No, I'm sorry."
Genji is right there.
Okay, I mean,
what?
I don't know. I want like an actual, like I want like a real like femboy character. Like I don't know. I just want somebody who's very flamboyant.
Yeah. But there's lots of new stuff, and there's lots of parts of the world they haven't gone to yet, and everything. So, like the strongest part of Overwatch is its cast of characters, and as I think they just need to keep building it out like that. Like that's what's going to get people to get in. And
give me a trans character.
Yeah, absolutely.
Please.
There should be one. It's been fucking. There's like fucking 35 of them in there.
Give us more fucking diversity, like please.
Yeah.
Actually,
I would like that. No, Soldier's gay. We're good for another 3 years.
I know they spent literally 5 years to tell everybody that Soldier was gay.
He's really the Dumbledore of Overwatch in a way.
A little bit.
Cool. All right. Well, yeah. Let's go ahead and wrap it up, I guess. So thanks for tuning in, everybody. Ollie, do you have anything that you want to plug that you do?
I am a streamer. I'm a content creator for the Chicago Knights of twitch.tv/OKSENFREE, Oxenfree. I really that's it. Follow me on Twitter and whatnot. All my socials are the same.
Oh, and Alyssa, you're still doing your streams?
Yeah, I do be streaming.
Just
a couple
streaming.
times
I
a
always
week
say
now.
that.
Look, I'm not going to say I've fallen off a little bit, but I've started streaming
Alyssa.
less.
Bro, you fell off.
Look, work has been so hard recently. I just don't have the desire or want to like stream most days. So, but I still stream 2 or 3 times a week at Go Ballistic on Twitch.
Nice. Yeah, I don't think I'm doing anything super special right now, but just keep an eye on youtube.com/GameLuster. Some of my videos will end up there eventually. I have recorded, I'm not shitting you, 28 hours of Elden Ring footage, and I don't know what to do with it. Because I was just like, I'll make a video out of this. Of what? Of what, Nirav?
Hire an editor.
I am an editor. I edit the videos.
I respect that.
I just don't know what the video is. You know what I mean? I was like, what do I have all this footage for? What am I trying to talk about?
You know,
is it just footage, or do you have like your commentary on it?
No, it's just footage of me playing the game on my own. Like it's not streaming. It's just
use it as background footage for any games, for any like commentaries you want to make. Use it as background footage.
Yeah, I'll probably have to do something like that. Anyway. Oh, also it's Friday when this comes out, so I can reveal on the podcast I've been reviewing that game Trek to Yomi, which is coming out on Friday. It's a secret right now. It's not out yet, but it's pretty good. I would if you go to, it's actually not for GameLuster, so just whatever, who the fuck's gonna know. Anyway, I reviewed this for the GG app. If you find us on Twitter, you can see our review and everything. I like it. It's like an indie game. It's like a black and white samurai film sort of game. It's like it's interesting. It's like purely combat basically. It's like a very like, it's like almost like a side scroller, but it's like nice graphics, but also looks like an old school fucking film. It's cool. Check out my review. I don't know what I'm going to give it yet. But anyway, I think that's probably it. So thank you guys for joining us. And we'll be back with more content.
Yeah, we pretty much just info dumped for the past like hour and 20 minutes about Overwatch.
Somebody will listen. If one person listens, that's enough. We've been a success.
W.
That's a big W for us. But I would like if more people did. Anyway, yeah, I think we'll be back. I don't know. I think we've just been fucking exhausted. Everybody in the world seems exhausted.
I'm a little burnt out. Just on everything.
I think making content is hard, man.
Tell me about it.
Stop doing it.
7 years. 7 years into it.
And this is just a side thing for me too, you know, like I have to go fucking urban plan during the day. So if anyone needs their city fixed, call me. I can't do it, but
can you please fix Lexington and make it a livable city?
No, absolutely not.
Can you give us public transport in Atlanta that's like reliable?
We are working on our public transport here in Savannah, like our the cat bus things. It's been doing pretty well.
Cat bus.
Yeah, Chatham area transit bus.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, come check out Savannah. I work here for the city, so I don't know if that was a plug. Anyway, whatever.
Plugging the city of Savannah.
I'm plugging the city of Savannah.
My man is doxing himself. Let's go.
Yeah.
Well, okay, next Overwatch map is Savannah.
That would be fucking tight.
Honestly, Savannah or Charleston would make a really good
Both
Overwatch
of them would
map.
actually make pretty solid maps, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my god, I'd cry if they made Charleston to an Overwatch map.
Oh my god. I would love if there was like a little Easter egg of like us like playing Quidditch on like Francis Marion Field.
I would cry. Oh my god,
Okay.
I swear you could probably go into Google like images or something or Google Maps and like find somebody playing
Like
Quidditch
a street view
Charleston.
of something. Yeah.
Dead
like,
ass.
Jesus. Okay. All right. Well, thank you guys for joining me. We'll be back next week with a real episode. I think I also feel motivated. We talked about. I think I want to do our Tetris episode because it's so fucking.
Oh yeah, I
fascinating.
forgot about that. We got to talk about that.
So fucking fascinating. All right. Cool beans. We'll talk to you guys later. Thank you guys. Oh, does anyone want to do their favorite Overwatch voice line to get us out of here?
Only through conflict do we evolve.
Okay, that wasn't bad.
And
Apagando las luces.
they say chivalry is dead.
Who was
Talk
that?
to the fist.
That's
Doomfist.
Did they ever make him say, "Do you know the way"?
No, but he says I didn't. But he says I didn't ask for your opinion, and I love to spam that one.
That's pretty good too. All right, see you guys.
Bye bye.